Hey guys, welcome to day 12 of my vlog. Um, so today we're gonna jump ahead finally in the timeline of Chrissy and me, our relationship. Um, we're gonna jump ahead to first week in November, which, if you know me, you know that that includes my birthday. Um, so I believe in 2009 my birthday fell on it's Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday. I want to say Tuesday. But so me being out of work by then, me barely. I mean, I think I was going to school still, but barely. Most of the day, I spent just playing video games. I want to say that was the year I played Borderlands, like almost all day. But don't quote me on that. So anyway, around like 6 or 7, I'm eating whatever. I don't remember what we ate for dinner with my family, but I remember getting a text from Chrissy being like, "You wanna go out for your birthday?" And I was like, I mean, I guess I didn't mind it. I was like, all right, it's fine. In 2009, I turned 22, I think. Yeah. And so, I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, let's go around like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Wait for my wait for my parents to go to bed so I can just you can pick me up and everything. She's like, all right. So, we went. Like the real reason I decided I wanted to go is because we didn't really do anything family wise, and obviously I don't really mind that. I understand that my mom, my dad, my brother, they all worked all day, so it didn't really matter. At the time I was like, oh, my girlfriend taking me out was cool. By then we had gone back together officially. We were dating again, so I remember after she picked me up, she asked me if I did anything special like the year before when I turned 21, and I was like, you know what? To tell you the truth, no, because I worked most of the day. Then I came home and we just ate dinner, and that's it. And I remember her trying to make this a big deal because it was the first time that either of us had a birthday while we were together. Chrissy's birthday had fell on January, so we didn't know each other at the time. So she was finally opening herself up again and being like, being cheerful, being happy, and trying to do something nice. And me just being, happy that we're doing anything at all. So we go out to this bar, and Chrissy brings along a couple of her friends, including Rios. And she's like, I hope you don't mind that I invited them along. And I was like, I mean, it's cool because I didn't want it. On one hand, it would have been cool if it was just the two of us, but on the other hand, I don't know. I didn't mind being in groups, and at the time, I believe what it was at the time, if either the friends I had either weren't, living in Sugarland, or they weren't of age yet. So, I was like, the more the merrier. I didn't really care. I didn't really have that many people to call that could join us. So, we went out. We drank. That was one of the first instances where I had ever seen Chrissy drink. I knew that she didn't mind it. Obviously, her being raised Catholic, she didn't really, think drinking was was a big deal to an extent. And, I felt the same instance. I felt the same way. But, it's funny, as I recall the night, I didn't drink too much. I wanted to enjoy the night, and in a bit of a flash forward, there've only ever been like a couple, 2 or 3 instances of me ever getting wasted, I guess you could say, getting blackout drunk. That night wasn't one of those nights. I wanted to enjoy the day. I wanted to drink a little bit, but I didn't want to go, I wanted to remember it. So, Chrissy did not feel the same way. She drank a good amount. Rightfully so. She had the money. Me being unemployed, I didn't. But, as the night progressed, I had my few beers and shots. She had more. And this was one of the first times, if I recall, where I thought that to not be too specific, that I could do the deed with Chrissy. And what I mean about that is, I had obviously, I know it sounds gross, but I'm a guy, had thought about it a lot, but like I said, it's the first instance where I thought it could happen, in the sense that I thought there was even the most remote chance. And as the night went on, I was like, I wondered if I should try, if I wanted to do it. It was my birthday. I was like, I had known her for 9 months. We'd only been dating for 2-ish of that time, but we had gone pretty close. So I was like, I don't know. I knew that Chrissy was pretty religious. Like I've said countless times, that she's a traditional person, in the sense that she didn't want to hook up with some random strangers, and that she wanted to wait. But I was obviously kind of inebriated at the time, so I was like, I didn't think about that. And I remember the rest of Chrissy's friends eventually leaving, but me and Chrissy being like, we wanted to keep going, to keep the quote-unquote party going, because Chrissy wanted to make up for the fact that I didn't do anything for my 21st birthday. So I was like, alright, let's, I tried to figure out some place where we could go that wasn't already closing, because it was around like 1:30 at the time, so they were about to close. And so we stumbled upon this park near my house, and we were just sitting there. I don't remember what we were doing, and I just like, I was still debating. I was like, on one hand, I think I can, but on one hand, what? Like, I was still sober enough to think that, and I was at least thinking like, what if she doesn't want to, or something like that. And really almost killing myself thinking about this, being like, this is the best shot I'm ever gonna have until, God forbid, or God willing, we get married or something. But you know what, if you are watching this and you're part of my family, and you're worried that something's gonna happen, don't worry, nothing happened. I couldn't do it. By the end of the night, I was like, you know what, I don't know. I was too worried about the repercussions. I was like, what if I try? What if we do it? And what if, like, I wake up tomorrow and she's like all mad? I was like, what? I was like worried. So I ended up not wanting to do it. I dropped her off, No, she dropped me off. She was driving. um, and, you know, like, yes, I know she drove drunk. By the way, but you know, I was just like, I know, you're probably like thinking to yourself, you're like, dude, you're always classifying yourself as some kind of like white knight, some nice guy, and that's not necessarily true. I mean, if I were a white knight, I would have thought about it. But I debated by myself like the entire time, that whole night, wondering whether I should go through with it or not. And I remember a few days later, you know, I was hanging out at Chrissy's apartment, and we were talking about the night. And I told her, I was like, you know, I know you were pretty drunk, but I had thought about it. You know, I didn't want to keep that from her, being, you know, knowing what happened last time, what happened that led up to our first fight. So I was like, you know what, I was thinking about it, and I decided not to do it. But, you know, I wanted to know, so I asked her, and I was like, do you think, I mean, I know you were drunk, but do you think it would have happened? I mean, Chrissy was like, I barely remember what happened that night. So she was like, you know me, you know that I don't want to just, you know, hook up with some random guy. But on the other hand, she was, you know, she knew, she was like, look, I was drunk, so I would say 50-50 shot at best. And I was like, and then, you know, I finally asked, I was like, would you have regretted it if I had gotten you to do it? And I remember what she said in reply was something that kind of felt something out of a romance novel or something. And I remember her saying, with you, not a chance. And I'll get into why that was such a big deal in another vlog. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or not, but that's all for today. I hope that you're enjoying all these vlogs. If you've been watching them all in order, or even out of order, which doesn't make sense, but then thank you, definitely. And yeah, if you know anyone that would be interested in listening to these stories, definitely try to share it with them. And until tomorrow, see ya.